Have you ever watched a video of your golf swing and just cringed at that ugly chicken wing finish? Well, you're definitely not alone. And if you've tried all the tips and tricks to fix it and nothing has worked, then you are in exactly the right place. Because we're about to show you why everything you've tried has been focused on the wrong thing. Let's get into it.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This idea is a total game changer because it completely flips the script on how we approach this problem. See, the issue isn't what your arms are doing, it's why your body is forcing them into that position in the first place.
So first things first, let's make sure we're all on the same page. We're going to get a crystal clear definition of what this swing flaw actually is, and more importantly, why it is so destructive to your scores.
Okay, let's get a little nerdy for just a moment. The chicken wing isn't just one thing, it's actually two things happening at once. You've got flexion, that's just the bending of your elbow. And you've got abduction, that's the elbow pulling away from your side. And when those two things happen together through the ball, man, it is a recipe for disaster.
And look, this isn't just about looking bad on camera. This flaw absolutely demolishes your game. First, it's a huge power leak. By shortening your swing radius right at the moment of truth, you're easily losing 10, maybe even 20 yards that are rightfully yours. It also destroys your contact, which is where all those frustrating thin and fat shots come from. And maybe worst of all, it creates that dreaded two-way miss. You know, one swing is a slice, the next is a pull hook. It's maddening.
Okay, so we know what it is and we know why it's so bad. Now it is time to unmask the real villain behind all of this. And here's the spoiler. It's not your arm. The real culprit is something we call the stall.
I want you to imagine this. Your body is a car, and your arms are just a passenger along for the ride. In a professional swing, the car, your rotating body, cruises right through the intersection. There's tons of room for the passenger, your arms, to stretch out and extend toward the target. But in the amateur swing, that car slams on the brakes right before impact. Your body just stops turning. But your arms, they still have momentum, right? They have nowhere to go, so to keep from crashing right into your rib cage, your brain literally goes into self-preservation mode and yanks that elbow up and out of the way. That's the chicken wing.
And this brings us to probably the single most important takeaway from this whole thing. That beautiful, powerful extension you see with the pros, it's not something they are actively trying to do with their arms. It is the natural, automatic result of a body that simply keeps turning. Extension is a consequence, not a cause. It happens to you when you get the pivot right.
So the big question is, why on earth do we stall in the first place? Well, it usually boils down to one of three reasons. Sometimes we get ball-bound. We get so focused on hitting the ball that we freeze up. Other times, it's a lack of trust. We try to steer the ball with our hands, so we stop our body rotation. And hey, sometimes it's purely physical. You might just have tight hips or a stiff back that's making it really hard to rotate properly. All right, before we get to the fun stuff, the drills that are going to fix this, we have to run a quick diagnostic. Think of it as a pre-flight check. Because if you ignore these two things, any progress you try to make is going to be totally sabotaged.
First on the list, your grip. And trust me, this can be a silent killer. If you have a weak grip, meaning you can only see one knuckle or maybe even none on your lead hand, the club face naturally wants to be wide open at impact. Your brain is smart. It senses this massive slice coming, so it hits the panic button, stalls your body's rotation, and lets your hands try to flip the club square at the last second. The fix is so simple. Just look down at address and make sure you can see 2, maybe 2.5 knuckles. That's it. That gives your brain the confidence it needs to just keep on turning.
Okay, next up, a super simple check to see if your body is even capable of making this move. For your upper back, just sit in a chair, keep your lower body still, and see if you can turn your chest about 45 degrees each way. Easy. For your lead hip, sit on the edge of a table and see if you can rotate that foot outward. If you struggle with either of these, your body's going to fight you on this new move, and you'll want to add some basic mobility stretches to your routine.
Okay, grip checked, body checked. Now we are ready for the good stuff. Let's dive into the step-by-step blueprint for rewiring your swing, building a powerful new pattern, and killing that chicken wing for good.
Our first drill, phase 1, is all about getting the feel without the distraction of a club or a ball. So just get in your normal golf posture and cross your arms over your chest. Make a backswing, and then just rotate everything, your hips, your chest, open until you're facing about 45 degrees left of your target. Now, pause right there and look down. See that huge pocket of space between your chest and where the ball would be? That is the space your arms have been craving.
All right, now for what might be the single greatest drill in all of golf. Seriously, grab a small towel, tuck it under both armpits so it runs across your chest. Now just hit some easy half shots with a 9-iron. Your only goal? Do not let that towel fall out. The only way to do that is to keep your arms and your chest connected, rotating as one piece. The second your arms separate and fly off on their own, poof, the towel's on the ground. It provides perfect instant feedback. There's no faking.
And for our final drill, phase 3, we're going to retrain your release with the classic L to L drill. You're just going to swing a short iron back until your lead arm is parallel to the ground, and then swing through to a finish where your trail arm is parallel to the ground. Now this checkpoint is your moment of truth. Pause and look. Are both of your arms straight and extended? Is the butt of the club pointing right back at your belly button? If so, you've nailed it. That's physical proof that your body and arms rotated through together.
Look, these drills are amazing for building the muscle memory. But to make this change stick when you're actually out on the golf course under pressure, we need to talk about the mental game. We need that one final mental shift to really trust this new swing.
Okay, here is a really powerful mental image that'll help you lock this in. Imagine there's a laser pointer coming out of the center of your chest. With the old chicken wing swing, that laser is pointing way up at the sky at impact because you've stood up and stalled. The Tour Pro feel is that the laser points down at the golf ball all the way through impact. You feel like your chest is covering the ball. That feeling forces rotation and makes extension happen naturally.
All right, let's boil this all down to the absolute essentials. What do you need to remember? The problem, you see, is your arm bending. The real cause is your body stalling. The fix, therefore, has nothing to do with your arms. It's about pivoting your hips and chest through the shot. Your go-to exercise is the towel drill to feel that connection, and the core feeling you want to burn into your brain is keeping your chest covering the ball.
So what's your plan for your next trip to the range? Here it is, step by step. Super simple. Start with a few of those mobility stretches for your hips and back. Then, hit 20 easy wedges with the towel drill to get that feeling of connection. After that, hit 27 irons using the L to L drill to groove that release. And finally, when you record your swing, please stop staring at your elbow. Look at your belt buckle. Look at your chest. Analyze the engine, not the symptom.
And that really leaves us with one final question for you. Now that you understand the real cause and the real effect, are you going to go back to the range and keep trying to force your arms to be straight? Or are you finally ready to stop fixing your arms and start turning your engine?